What is up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of CM Retro Rants. You don't really rant videos, or more kind of talk about it videos, little topical type thing. Look at this. They got the mulch delivered. What does that look like?
That is one big pile of shit.
That's right. Dino poo. Anyway, today's topic, we're going to be talking about e-begging. Remember when that was a thing 4 or 5 years ago? So let's just get into it. What's up, guys? Today we are talking about e-begging, or anti-e-begging, as it were, if that's your particular flavor. But before we go there, we gotta get here. We are close to 5,000 subscribers. So if you like these commentary type videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And along with that, bang that notification bell. And YouTube will notify you whenever we drop one of these joints. Okay, whenever we post one of these videos, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, does anybody remember e-begging, the whole anti-e-begging revolution, the phenomenon from about 5 years ago? Well, if you don't, let's talk about it. So the first thing we need to kind of define and discuss is, what is e-begging? It's kind of self-explanatory. It's in the title. When you are begging for money, goods, or services electronically, online. In our world, we're just talking about YouTube, predominantly the asking for money. Now, where this starts to get tricky is understanding the different types of e-begging. For me, I just break it down into two: the aggressive and the passive. The aggressive is those DSPs. Hey, if you don't donate right now, we're going to end the stream. I got better things to do with my time. Very sort of aggressive style e-begging, along with something like the Game Chasers. At least they used to anyway. In their live streams, they would post their night bot or chat bot or whatever the hell that thing is. If you want the stream to continue, donate $2 right now. A very aggressive and immediate call to action that lets you, as the viewer, know that you are supposed to give them money. That is sort of the norm. That's what's supposed to be happening. Then we've got passive. These are a little bit more difficult to decipher, but you know them by their distinctive smell. This video was brought to you by our subscribers on Patreon. Well, Patreon didn't make the video. Patreon didn't edit the video. Patreon didn't post the video to YouTube. Basically, what that YouTuber is doing is asking you to give them money on Patreon in lieu of working a regular job. They want to make YouTube their full-time job. They want you to give them money so they can make a video every month or so. The other one you got to look out for is, guys, I kind of ran on some tough times, and I didn't want to do it. But my friends talked me into starting a GoFundMe. Link is in the description. I got some water in my basement, or my car blew up, or there's a convention coming up. I mean, there was some other type of tragedy in my life that I need you to pay for while I tell you about that tragedy in front of thousands of dollars of video games or toys, right? Like, we kind of recognize those. Those are examples of, sort of aggressive and passively e-begging for money. But there is e-begging for goods or services. Again, usually on YouTube, it's goods. Give me video games. Give me free toys, right? Like, don't send me anything, but my P.O. box is listed down below, right? Like that kind of stuff. Or, hey, I'm going to start a museum, and if you want to donate your rare and valuable games to the museum, I'll make sure I put you in the footnote and you get credit for it. Just send it to me. I mean, how long is that? That scam has been going on for almost a decade. You know what I mean? Like, that's absolutely insane. But anyway, 5-7 years ago, there was this entire anti-e-begging community that, sort of gathered together and made content trying to expose or point out, whatever it was, all of these people on YouTube that were dirty, nasty, filthy e-beggars. They were, sort of the unofficial spokesman was Radical Rick, who made some videos, a lot of videos about Metal Jesus and John Hancock and Dreamcast Guy and all these guys, right? But I think this revolution really died because of two things. The first, the thing that I just mentioned. You can only go to the Metal Jesus well so many times. You can only talk about what they're doing in their Patreons every day. I mean, you can only do that for so long. You can only put them in the rotation of 4 or 5, maybe 6 YouTubers that you bang on every day. it really became a dying phenomenon, a dying revolution, because they're just, you can only talk about it so many times before it became boring. And I caution people that talk about the Amico of the same thing. I mean, you're on the pro side, the anti side, doesn't really matter. At at some point, every single drop of juice out of the Amico orange will be squozed. You know what I mean? And you will have to move on and talk about something else. And the second you do that, then your revolution's going to die. Because the people that watch your content specifically for the anti-Ebegging commentary, they will then leave once they don't get that content. They'll move on, go somewhere else. Secondly, the second part of why I think that revolution died off is because that entire group could never come together and sort of define what real e-begging was. Is it merch? Is it Google Ads? Is it StreamYard's donations? Is it Super Chat? Is it channel members? Is it Patreon? Like, everybody in that group seemed to have a certain view or opinion on what exactly was e-begging. I personally don't think selling merch is e-begging, and a lot of people don't, but there were some people in that community that said if you sell t-shirts, that's a form of e-begging while they're wearing their Metallica t-shirt. You know, so they bought a tangible item from a band, but they can't buy a tangible item from a YouTuber. There were people that felt that way. There were people that felt that monetizing on Google was, in fact, e-begging, that super chats, even if it was unsolicited, was e-begging. If there was a Patreon or a channel membership, that was probably e-begging, even though the person may feel that there's $5 worth of value there for the month. You know what I mean? It's why I don't do memberships or Patreon personally, because I don't feel that I can provide that $1 or $2 worth of value that, you know, the subscriber should be getting that month. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own opinion on this. It's a very worthwhile topic to discuss because it didn't used to be this way. I harp on the older days in YouTube, you know, when the only money you could really make was through merch or through monetization. We didn't have all of these other avenues to generate revenue. And, you know, people, what type of person is continuing to donate to these people? That's a whole nother issue and a whole nother video, something if you want to discuss in the comment section, we can. But what it boils down to is there are people that are just bad with money, people that have issues, mental issues, people that want these YouTubers to be their friends, you know, so they donate in an attempt to get closer to the YouTuber. These are all sort of secondary or primary effects that, depending on how you look at it, that affect the community when you have these actors, these bad actors on YouTube. I don't think there's anything wrong with if, you know, someone's live streaming and you throw them a $5, throw them a $10, whatever. I don't necessarily have a problem with that if you enjoy their content. Now, if they're saying, I will shut this stream off if you don't donate, that's sort of a problem. That's kind of where I draw the line. We all have our own perspectives on this issue, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. So guys, that is going to do it. Next time we are going to talk about legacy, not my legacy, but your legacy on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share on social media, because that does help out a lot. It gets eyeballs on the channel that wouldn't normally be on the channel. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the next one.